Hi guys! So this will be my video for this week. I'm going to start a project with you guys and I'm going to explain why there wasn't a video last week. If you saw one of my shorts, which was months ago, I made my mom some coffee table, but it was for the end tables, their little mats. Well, she wants me to make her one for the main coffee table, a table runner. So I have these squares. These are what are going to be on the table. And then these are what are going to be hanging off the edge. I haven't cleaned up ends yet. I've been kind of lazy with that. But I have 4 of the squares done, and I just need to make one more. So that's what we're going to do while I explain why there wasn't a video last week. I was getting really sick of constantly swapping out colors, so I just got really lazy and I made a cake of a bunch of colors. And what I did is I stretched my hands out and I did 5 of these. So this is about a yard, so there's a decent amount of one color, and some of them you'll see where it doesn't fully finish a corner, and that was just my way to make it more interesting. So last week I wasn't feeling good. I was able to upload the diamond painting video on Monday. I don't think I uploaded a short on Tuesday. The Sims 4 video I already had recorded and edited that weekend, so all I had to do was just put that up. But I know that I didn't put a short up for Thursday, and of course there wasn't the crochet video for Friday. I just wasn't feeling good. A lot of girl stuff, if you know what I mean. And I just decided that I was going to take a break. I thought about posting on the comment that there wasn't going to be a video, but it completely slipped my mind, and I thought that I would just explain in this video. So last week I was supposed to do a video where I showed you the yarn that I bought for future projects. And then this week's video was supposed to be the January winter gnome that I was going to make, which I am making. I have part of it done. You might be able to see that right there. That is the body. I got that done last night. But I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling working on the amigurumi, so I decided to pick this up. Normally I only work on this when I'm out in the living room with my parents, but I really want to get it done. I am so ready for a change, and granny squares are easy on my hands compared to amigurumis. They're a little bit harder on my hands. So since I already worked on that yesterday and this morning, I decided that I was going to work on something that was a little bit easier. I haven't shown this project to you guys yet. I did show a short of me working on it, but I don't think I've given you guys any updates on it. I am also knitting a shawl, which is right here. I was working on it while I was editing today's diamond painting video. So this is the back, and then this is the front. This right here that I'm working on is the bottom. So when you have it, it will be this way. This is the part that will wrap around. It's a really pretty pattern. So up on top, it's just knit. And then how you get these holes is by doing a yarn over. And the way how you get this stitch here is by picking up stitches in the middle. I have to get it to 250 stitches. I am currently at 82 rows and at 181 stitches. There's this app that I'm using that's helping me to track the rows and how many stitches. I'm at 86 rows and yeah, I'm at 181 stitches. It's this app called Stitch Counter. Initially, I found the website and then I learned that they made an app for it, so I downloaded that. It's really nice. I like it. So this week, I'm just going to be working on some projects that I've been meaning to get done. This is one of them. The other one is a head, face, and neck covering. I'm hoping to get that done as well. I'll be showing that later in the week. I don't know how much I'm going to touch the amigurumi just because it is harder on my hands and I'm trying to divvy up my time between my hobbies more, so I'm trying to diamond paint more. I haven't crocheted on my own all week. The last video that I posted for crocheting, that was the last time I crocheted for myself. The only times that I've been crocheting is to work on the temperature blanket with my mom. So, or when we're sitting there and she's working on her hand towels that she does, I have been working on these. But what have you guys been up to? What have you been making lately? I've been curious. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out our other crochet and diamond painting videos if you're interested. Okay, so here I don't want to have two oranges next to it because I'm afraid that's going to be too much orange. So I am actually going to grab another color. So the colors I have to grab for are from when I did these. I actually made them too big, so I had to take off, I think it was 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 rows. I had to take off 4 rows because they're 6 color and 6 white. This is what I had left. I've already used one of those in... I've already used one of those in this other doily I just finished. Doily. Granny square, which is this blue right here. Hi guys, so I'm here to check up with you on the table runner. I have gotten everything joined. Now you might have seen off to the side, I have started the border. This is how far I got. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to edit today's gaming video, and you guys are just going to watch me finish up the border. Okay, I got this other side done. This was the side I was working on and that I started on yesterday. I wasn't feeling good yesterday, so I didn't record anything yesterday, but I did get some crochet stuff done. This is where I started. So now I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to get this next side done while I continue to edit today's gaming video. Okay, I got the edge done. So now I'm just going to clean it up, and we're going to talk as I clean it up. So I had quite a bit of that extra skein that I like bundled up a bunch of different colors. So I was trying to figure out something to do with it, and I have one knitting project on the go right now, but I was itching for a new one. So I decided to make some beanies. Since they were fingering weight yarns, I put 3 fingering weights together, 1 color and then 2 whites, and I was able to make 1 beanie. I knew I wasn't going to have enough for a second one, so I was like, okay, well, I'll figure out something to do with these extras. Well, as I was putting this runner together, I always underestimate how much the binding, which is this pink area, I always forget how much the binding adds to the length. So I ended up actually not needing that. Let's see, how many squares did I do? 1, 2, 3, so I initially did 5 squares. I ended up not needing that 5th square. So I took it apart and I was able to make another cake. This is what the beanie looks like. It turned out really nice and it fits nice. Okay, I turned down the white balance a little bit so you guys can see the hat better. So this is how it turned out. It's really comfy. It's nice and cozy. And I did a little pom-pom on top, and I used the same yarn. And I actually had so much. Let me change the opacity back. Okay, I actually had so much left over from the second cake that I made. And then I had a few extra that I wasn't able to fit into this cake, which this pretty much is all from that 5th granny square that I ended up not using. The only thing that I added to this was the 3rd strand of white, which was another fingering weight. And then this is just what didn't fit in that second cake. And what I have on my needles and what I have here is what I had left after doing the first part of this beanie here and the pom-pom. So I'm hoping that I'm going to have enough to make a second beanie. I think that would be really, really cool. I'm going to use this and then this first before I use this because I'd like to make the pom-pom out of more brighter colors, and this is all darker stuff. So I'd like that to be in there, and then I'll use the brighter stuff once I get there. But I'm pretty excited. I thought that was going to be pretty cool to make a beanie. This is only my second beanie I've ever made. The other one I made for my dad for Christmas, which was I think that also was a double rib, but it was in normal Aran weight yarn, and it was a solid color. And I did that it was either 6mm or 6.5mm needles. So these I did in an 8mm because that was the highest my needles went, but I didn't think it was too bad. I just estimated the one that I did for my dad, it was 80 stitches and then 55 rows before I started doing the decreases, I think. And this one, since I pretty much doubled everything, I did 56, and it was just a little too big for my head. So then I went down to 52, which was perfect. And I didn't count how many rows I did. I just used my Jack beanie that I got for Christmas a few years ago, and I used that to estimate when I should start decreasing. This one's going to be a little bit bigger. This one I did 54 instead of 52, so it's 2 stitches bigger, but I felt 56 was going to be just too big. So this will just be a little bit of a bigger size. And then I have a second project. No, I guess technically this would be the 4th project. I have a 4th project that I'm going to do. I want to get the beanies done first because I got this one done all in one day. So I'm hoping to get this one done today and finish the 4th one tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to get set up to continue to edit today's video, and I'm going to work on the beanie. Okay, just sitting here, I finished what was remaining of that next skein, and that's how much I got done. This is the bad thing about the 3 skeins, is that sometimes the amounts don't match up, but that's okay. Now I'm going to finish off this one. So see, I just joined that together. These don't bother me. The knots don't bother me. So now I'm going to finish off this one. I'm going to let you guys go though while I work on this one, and I'm going to continue to edit, and I'll show you once I finish this tiny skein. Okay, I finished that random skein. This is how much I have left. This is how far I got. It's looking pretty nice. I'm pretty excited. So now I'm going to take this end and I'm going to add it to my proper cake that I've actually made. Okay, I'm going to hurry and knit until I get to this new skein, and then I'll stop there. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to give my hands a break, and I'm going to do some things around the house, and then I'll come back and finish it. Okay, so I just decided to finish that row. This stitch marker tells me when my row's finished. So let's see, I just had pretty much just the purple done last night. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So just sitting here, I got about 9 rows done, which isn't too bad. So then I have this cake here. If I need to make another one, I have more of this yarn that I used for the granny squares, so that won't be too bad, but I don't think I will need another one. If I do, it will just be for the pom-pom, which doesn't even need a pom-pom on there if I'm going to be realistic. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to go do some stuff around the house, and I'll see when I can get back to this. Hi guys, it is now Friday, so I'm going to show you everything that I got done. First, I'm going to start with the balaclava, which is this right here. This is the balaclava I did, but I did it in different yarn than what she did it in, and I'm going to show you guys that next. Here in just a second, I'm going to put it on. I made mine just a little bit different than what hers is. So this is how you do it. First, you do this part here, and then you do this part. Here, what you're doing is you're gradually going out, and then once you hit a certain point, then you just start to do mindless crochet. She did hers in rib stitch, but rib stitch is kind of hard on my hands, so I just decided to do it in all half double crochets. Now on the bottom area, she didn't have anything that actually properly covered the collarbone, so I added this to the bottom so it could cover my collarbone, so if any air did get under my jacket, that it would prevent it because of this here. This was a lot of fun. It took me about a month to complete because I kept picking it up and putting it down and picking up and putting it down because it's a very mindless pattern, and sometimes I'd get quite bored of it. So I'd be ready for a change, and then I'd finish a project and I'd do a few rows, and then I'd get bored of it, and then I'd start another project, and then I'd do a few rows. this is the balaclava I made. It has this face covering, and then I can also bring it past down my chin. I can also take the hood off, so then all I have is just this part. But you can also have it up too. This was a lot of fun. This is that big long piece, and then you just fold it. Sometimes I'll do a double fold so that you don't see the rough edge. You just see the nice clean edge. This pokes out here. I don't really like that, so I just kind of tuck it in a little bit and it will kind of hide it away. But this was, again, a lot of fun. Very tedious. It was all just the same stitch over and over again. But I'm going to go over the quantities and how much I had left. Okay, so for this balaclava, I used this Bernat pop. I had 3 of these skeins. This is one full skein that I didn't end up using. I used the whole first skein. And then this is how much I had left of the second skein. This in grams is 38 grams, and in total one skein has 140 grams. So it could be a very high chance that I could make another one, but it would have to be like kid size. So I'm kind of deciding what I want to make with the rest of these cakes that I have left, because there's not enough of it for something, and when I make my granny projects, it's all in that Aran weight. It's not in this yarn, which is a medium 4, but it's a little bit thicker than the Aran weight, and so I don't want to use it in my granny square stuff because I'm afraid it would be too noticeable. But yeah, it was okay to work with. It's not my favorite yarn to work with. It is very peely, and it's loose wound, so it's not very tight, so my crochet hook would constantly go into it. I got these new ones, these Susan Bates sparkly ones. They go from size 4, 5, 5.5, 6, and 6.5, I think. But this has a more pointier top and a pointier bottom, and it just kept getting stuck. So I just ended up using this. Was it this one I used? No, it wasn't this one. So I just went using this one. This one seemed to not react as much, even though it's got the same similar points to it. It didn't react as much as this one did, but that's okay. So would I recommend this? For the balaclava, it was perfect because it was warm, it was going to keep the heat in, but I don't think it would be good for anything else because it's a little scratchy, so I had to wash it once by hand and then once by machine, but I just did it all in cold water because it's easier on my hands to do it that way. But I'm going to show you what I did next. If you guys remember a short from months and months ago, I started making my mom some granny square end table mats. Here is the first one I made. It is just 5 rows of color and then 5 rows of white and then pink for the binding and blue for the border. I really wanted to essence that granny square random, use what you have. Then this was, is that the same one? No. Okay. Then this is the other end table. I think I have one that's better. Okay, no. This is my better one. This is with the light on. So here's this one. This was the second one I made. Same thing, just the 5 rows of color, 5 rows of white, pink for border, pink for joining, and blue for border. Those were a lot easier. It got harder once I did the end table. Here's a better picture. So these ones were actually 6 rows of color and 6 rows of white with a board with a binding and then the blue border. On the edge here, there are actual can't see it on this one. There are actual triangle granny squares that I did first time I did it, and I really liked the way how it turned out. These were a lot of fun. Let me see if I can point out. No, it doesn't look like I used any. So on the corners, I used this. I also got this Bernat pop for this colorway. This one was a collection of 3 different colors, which ironically, the colors that are on here, it's a different cake, but the colors that are on here are actually the colors that were in the cake. Let me see if I can find those. I know I don't have very much of them though. So this is how much I had of these colors. These were all in one cake. I didn't use very much of it to see. I only used it on the corners, which I'm going to show that to you guys right now. Okay, so these are the triangle pieces at the bottom. These are just the colors that I used from here. And here is where I noticed that I couldn't use them in the other squares because they were just too thick and you could notice it within the smaller squares. Like these yarns were a lot lighter, a lot of them were fingering weight, and then these ones were the thicker, loosely wound yarn. So that's why these ones aren't as big as these squares up here, because I did try to do these at the 5 color 6 white, but I mean the 6 color 6 white, but it didn't work out. They were too big. Here was the other square that I did on the other side. You can see that they're a little bit different. They're not completely different, but I did try and have different colors in them so that they felt more random. This, I think, was the same gram. Yeah, it was 140. I don't actually know how much is left of these. Let me see. So here's my weigher that I use. Let me weigh them individually, and I'll use my calculator. We have 117 grams left of this cake. If that color actually doesn't go along with that, and I just added it in there. It has been a minute since I've done that. I had that done on Tuesday, so I haven't touched it since. But I think that's how much we have left of that cake. Now, if you guys saw earlier in the video while I was editing Wendy's gaming video, I decided to use what was left of those miscellaneous cakes that I made so that I didn't have to keep changing out colors. I made a beanie. Well, I actually had enough. I actually ended up only needing 4 granny squares instead of 5. So I took apart that 5th one, and it was actually enough for a second beanie. So I'm going to show you guys that now. So this was the first one I made. I really like this one. It's nice and cozy, and it fits my head just right, and it has a little pom-pom on top. This one was nice. This was the first one I made. And then this is all from that second one that I ended up not using. Sorry, that was an end I weaved in and it didn't stay weaved in. This one I did with no brim flip over, which is fine. I wanted it that way. I wanted two different options, one with a brim and one without. This one is 2 stitches bigger. I did this one at 52 stitches and I did this one at 54. So it would be a little bit more stretchier. And then it also has a pom-pom on top. So I made a total of, let's see, I already had the 2 triangles done, and I already had 3 of the squares done, and I almost had the 4th one done. So in 1 week, I finished the 4th granny square. I made the 5th one that I ended up not using. I did the binding. I did the border. I made 2 beanies with what was left over. And I made the balaclava. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below if you have any questions or if there's anything else you'd like to see. Next week, we will be having a video on the winter gnomes that I will be making. Sorry, it's from me wearing the beanies. I am almost finished with the male, and I'm going to try and see if I can knock out a female gnome as well, so that my mom can have them on a mantle in the kitchen. So, again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!